Welcome back to JBSports. I'm your host, Sean Byrne, and today is Wednesday, so you know it's all about the Wrestling Wednesday. Sorry about the lighting, a little off. Half my lights wasn't working, so had to figure something out. It's good enough though for what I have to do. Um, of course, today is all about the wrestling, so we will go over Backlash results, and then we will go over Raw results. We'll go straight into Backlash here, in no significant order. First one, Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the U.S. Championship. This match was good. I think one highlight of this show was the matches being very good, but the endings being a little shaky. This one, pretty good match. Loved a lot of it. LA Knight started off hot. It kind of was Drew went after Damian, and sorry, LA Knight went after Jacob. Those two they went after their rivals, which makes sense. And then they just fight for a little bit. Each person gets a chance at getting the upper hand on each other. And then finally, Damian Priest and Drew, they're finally like really annoyed with each other. So they start walking off. They start fighting in the fan section. And then there's a table spot similar to the Seth Rollins, I think, was it Finn Balor or Shinsuke? One of the spots those two matches had. And they go to the top. Drew looks like he's about to just put Damian through this table. You're like, oh, Damian's done, right? No, Damian reverses it, gets Drew around the neck, south of heaven, halfway misses the table. I believe Drew is doing okay. I can't check with him personally because I don't know him personally, but from what I've heard, he's not doing terrible. I believe he's healthy, but it looks like he's doing okay. He was walking after. Everyone's healthy, so that's what Triple H said. And off of that though, good spot. Maybe needs a better execution. I think that would help a lot if one of your top stars doesn't get hurt. Damian, come on, man. But hey, mistakes happen in wrestling. It happens in every company, so we just roll with it. Overall, good match. Ending, Jeff Cobb getting introduced into it. It wasn't a bad introduction. I think it's been similar for a lot of these guys, especially in solos groups. So take it or leave it. It was okay. We'll see what he can do for the group. There's a lot of members now. I think in total it's Solo, Cobb, Jacob, Tamatanga, and Tongaloa. So that's 5 of them, which probably means Jacob's going to get kicked out. I don't really know how Cobb fits into this fully, because I don't think he's a part of the family. I think he's just something. I don't know, but I don't think he's a part of the family. We'll see what happens. Solo really hasn't been that entertaining. He's just reverted back to that muscle type of role, which he's better at in my opinion, but it is what it is. Overall, ending-wise, Cobb interferes. Jacob gets the win off the interference as he pins LA Knight. Jacob didn't look too happy with it. It looked like he really wanted to win this on his own, so maybe a Jacob Fatu face turn soon. I wouldn't be too mad at that, but it'll definitely be a later date, but not too far in the future, because this Cobb stuff is going to start getting more introduced, and then something's going to happen. Next, Women's Intercontinental Championship match. This match was awesome. At least I thought. Some people thought it went too long. I think it was pretty. I think the length wasn't terrible. A lot of spots. You had Becky getting in Lyra's fiance's face, saying how bad she is and how much better Becky is. Talking trash. You had some good moves. Good Northern Lights, I think, by Lyra. Just a good story throughout the match. Commentary was pretty good. I'm pretty sure Lyra broke her nose at the end of that match, if I remember correctly, because her nose was a little messed up, but she was grabbing a lot. I think I heard she might have broke her nose. But yeah, the ending of the match was a little shaky. I think they might have had to hurry up because of broken nose. You never know what happened. That could have just been the end, and it was just a little shaky. But great match overall. Literally, was like a 4.5 until the ending, and it made it a 4. So it was amazing. I love the action. Kind of wish Becky won, but that's just because I'm a Becky fan. Lyra is a great wrestler. She's been a great champ so far, so I'm happy to see her keep going. Next match, Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. This match, just a fun match. Penta and Dom have some good chemistry. You knew the Judgment Day would get involved at some period of time. You know, it was just a matter of time. And, you know, going to the match, Dom doesn't look bad. Him and Penta look like they're kind of neck and neck. Then Penta gets a little bit of room, and then the boys come out. They distract. I think it was Carlito distracted the ref, and you have JD McDonough, aka Lord Farquaad, grab Penta. Finn was gonna hit him, then he hesitates, goes to get a chair, and then hesitates to hit him again. So it's kind of showing Finn losing the faith in the team, not liking them as much. Of course, on Raw, we'll get into it, but he said that Dom was just paranoid like Rhea and Damien was, so he's trying to get under his skin, maybe to turn him and get the title off of him. We'll see what happens there. But Finn, hesitated. At the end of the day, Dom does retain off of help from, I think it is Finn. So, you know what? At the end of the day, Dom won, Finn helped, and everything should be fine. But great match overall. Loved it. We'll move on. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. That match was just back and forth, just chops from Pat McAfee that looked okay, but were like barbecue chicken for Gunther. And he just right back at Pat. He was lighting Pat up. Pat's chest after looked really red. It looked bad. It was actually a very good match. I don't know why people underestimated Pat that much. If you watch some of his matches in NXT against Adam Cole, they're really good. And overall, Pat can wrestle. He's had some great matches overall in the WWE, and I think that people need to stop underestimating him. But Cole got involved, which we thought was going to happen. His best friend Pat McAfee going against a beast, a monster like Gunther. You're going to need to help. Held the leg of Gunther one time to try to get Pat to win off a pin. Didn't work out. He also, I think, got dragged in the ring before that, and he almost got taken out by Gunther. Gunther was just having fun in there. After he mentioned Pat's kid, he was going on demon time. Gunther is insane. Really fun match. Gunther, of course, picks up the win by a sleeper, which Pat kind of made fun of him by not tapping out. You tapped out, but I didn't. That kind of moniker. But great match overall. Happy Gunther won. He needed that. Pat, great performance, man. And then finally, the last match of the night, the most anticipated match, John Cena versus Randy Orton for the undisputed WWE Championship. I love this match. There's some points where it was a little stupid, but overall it was just really fun. Yeah, you had some interferences by R-Truth. Screwing Randy was a rough move, Truth. That's something you might not come back from, because you screw Randy once, you're gonna be screwed by him for the rest of your career. Overall, started kind of slow. I think they were going back and forth for a while, and then John Cena kind of took the match into his own hands. He had control of it. Then Randy came back. I believe in the entirety, John got put through 2 tables. Probably got RKO'd a good 3 or 4 times, and he didn't lose. Yeah, make it that he didn't lose from any of them. Then you had the officials, Nick Aldis, get RKO'd. The rest of the trainers and staff, the helpers, everyone got RKO'd. Everybody who went in that ring got RKO'd except for the rest, because one ref got bumped into by Randy, and then one ref got hit by a title belt. But the one who, every person who stepped in that ring got RKO'd by Randy Orton that night, and there's like 10 or 12. That's insane. Randy RKO'd everyone in sight. I mean, and then he was gonna get the win on Cena. He had the RKO, and he was about to punt him. He was rearing it back. He had those voices in his head again, like really bad, like 09 Randy type, and he was rearing it. Then R-Truth slides in the ring, says, "Come on, that's my childhood hero. You can't do it." Randy's like, "Truth, what are you doing? Why are you interfering?" And then just RKO, Cena, I think it was a low blow, hit with the title, throw it out. Same as the Cody finish, basically. And 1, 2, 3. Cena beats Randy in their last ever matchup and retains the undisputed WWE Championship. And let's go back to R-Truth. R-Truth saves saves John Cena, his childhood hero's title reign. And you know what he gets? You know what he gets for it? One, he gets RKO'd by Randy Orton. And then later in the show, when John Cena's finally going to talk to the press instead of saying, "That's a clickbait question. That's a clickbait question. I'm not going to answer that next question." Finally says he's going to try his best to answer it. Someone asks the question, R-Truth comes out. Doesn't say the best things as a John Cena fanboy, but, he was being nice. He was happy for him. And he said, even if they do think you suck, which saying, the crowd, he's not saying, R-Truth isn't saying he sucks, like John Cena sucks. He's not saying it from himself. He's saying the fans do that, but he doesn't believe them. And he's just cheering for Cena. And then Cena says, Ron. Like, he goes first name. He goes, Ron, if you say anything else, there will be consequences. Something like that. And then R-Truth just wants to say one more thing. And poor Truth saves his childhood hero, his title, and his match. And what's he get? He gets an AA through a table. Now, how is that fair? One of the only people cheering for you, Cena. You're going to break up with Truth, too? This is what you do to your biggest fans, your childhood heroes? I mean, I know you were breaking up with people in the crowd, but this guy's been helping you. I mean, you've been against each other a few times, but that's just competition. You'll respect that. But poor R-Truth gets put through a table in front of all the press and just laying there, just in pain. So sad to see. That's why you never meet your childhood heroes, kids. Never meet them, because that'll happen to you. You'll be put through a table. So, great match. Unfortunate ending for R-Truth. He deserved better. Justice for Truth, everybody. Please. Please, justice for Truth. But overall, it's a pay-per-view. Really good matches. I think the endings of some of the matches kind of ruined it for a few people, but overall, I really liked it. So, that's all you can ask for as a fan. So I'll give it like a B plus. I think it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Not the best, of course, but pretty good. So we'll transition from Backlash to Raw. Raw, I actually liked it a lot. You had some good matches. You had some segments. Jey Uso, CM Punk, and Sami Zayn stand up to Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. There's got to be a third member of this group. Now, I don't know if this third member, there's a 3 people like I have in my head. You have Austin Theory, who I think is the best choice, just because what he's been through. He's kind of that Randy role where he's got all the talent, he's got everything. He does have some charisma. He's got the story to make him turn or leave his group. And Grayson Waller, who puts him in matches, which it's leaning more towards a face turn, which is unfortunate because I really want to see him in there in the group with Seth Rollins Evolution 2.0, as I like to say, but it's not looking likely. But I think he's the best option. Charisma, he's got everything to be one of the future stars, and he's not well over with the fans, which he's getting over little by little. Second, Carmelo Hayes. One problem about that is he's on other brands, so the draft would have to play into this, or he just goes over. But he's with the Miz, so that doesn't make too much sense either. Which he's my second favorite choice. I think would be great for it. He's a star. He's got charisma. He's kind of over the fans, but not fully over yet. So that's why I could hope, but that won't happen. And then my third choice, he's old. He does not fit the young portion of Randy. He's kind of over with the fans. He's really good at his job, but throw in Ethan Page. Why not? Put him on the main roster. Throw him in that group. I think he'll be great for it. You got Seth, the Triple H type. You have Braun Breaker, future star. Batista type. Paul Heyman, I guess, is Ric Flair. And then you have either Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, or Ethan Page. At first, originally, I thought Ethan Page, just because I forgot how old he was. I mean, he's not old, but like old in wrestling terms. I forgot how old he was. And then I was like, Austin Theory would be perfect, and Carmelo wouldn't be bad because he had that small connection with Paul Heyman. But overall, I think Austin Theory would be my pick. So hopefully he gets picked, but you never know. Because, like, he's got to split from Grayson in a way where it's a heel, but it's really hard to do that when they're both already heel. So unless he just completely obliterates Grayson after like the Sheamus match or something and turns on him, you don't know what to do here. So next part, Penta defeats Chad Gable. Great match. Penta has always been putting on good matches. Chad Gable, who is not El Grande Americano. Come on, guys. You got to think smarter than that. Good match. Mexican Destroyer for the win. You got to love it. Penta's been great. Always got the best gear. And Chad Gable's just underrated. Chad Gable's Chad Gable. What can you say about him? Okay. Next, the Creed brothers defeat the War Raiders. Creed brothers I like a lot. I think they had a good push going. They joined American Made, and it was supposed to be big for them, and it hasn't amounted to much. They're friends with El Grande Americano. Great friendship there, but I'm okay with them beating the Warriors, even if it was a little bit of a mix win between cheating, not. It's all good. Next, Gunther vows to challenge the winner of Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. So all I'm saying is, before this happened, no one thought Logan Paul would win. After this, no one still thinks Logan Paul will win. So people were like, oh, you spoiled the match. Who actually thought Logan Paul would win the world title? Be completely honest with me if you, and it's fine. It's totally fine. There's some Logan Paul fans. I think he's a great wrestler. Do I like him as a person as much? Eh. But you never really thought he was going to win the title. Mid-card title, I'm okay with that. It kind of fits his persona. But world champ, come on, guys. No. So eventually it will be Gunther versus Jey Uso. When will it happen? I don't know, but it'll happen eventually. Which, if Gunther won the title back, I wouldn't be too mad. AJ Styles defeats Finn Balor. Penta goes crazy and does a Mexican Destroyer off the back of Lord Farquaad, aka JD McDonough, to Carlito. Let me just say, this man Carlito cannot catch a break. He's getting speared by Braun Breaker. He just has segments that makes him look really stupid, but really funny. Carlito's amazing at what he does. He's got the spears from Braun Breaker. He's getting in a crazy Mexican Destroyer from Penta. Why does this man not get breaks? Someone help this man out. He's terrified of Braun Breaker. Now he's got to be terrified of Penta. This man can't go to work without being scared of someone doing an insane move to him. Someone help out Carlito, please. But it was funny. Of course, AJ Styles won. Another sad day for one of my favorites, Finn Balor. Will he ever win again? I don't know. It's really sad, but one day maybe. Next, Becky Lynch addresses the WWE crowd, the crowd in the arena, everybody in the world that watches WWE, that, you know what? Whatever you say about me is true. You think I'm selfish? All right, I'm selfish. Wow, messed that up. You think I'm greedy? All right, I'm greedy. You think I'm, cutthroat? All right, I'm cutthroat. Becky just saying, you know what? Whatever you want. If you want to say bad things about me, you know what? I am those things. A lot of people are saying she's going to her Becky Hogan side. I really don't understand the whole comment. I've said it before. I'll say it again. But I would have been fine if she won the title. She didn't, which she put over Lyra. Mighty nice of her. It was great. And it was a good match. But Becky, don't play with Becky. She'll have a title around her waist again real soon. Be ready for it. Mark my words. Or she'll just win some high-level feuds or put some people over. You never know. Becky will do what's best. And then finally, you have an amazing main event. I thought it was a really good main event. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez and Julia. Listen, I think Roxanne Perez and Julia have been amazing so far on the main roster. Have they won yet? No. There's a reason. They're facing the top two women on the Raw side. It's going to be hard to beat them when you're just coming from NXT. So people complaining about it, calm down, please. Overall, really fun match. You had some good moments. You had Well, Julia was making her debut on Raw. So great debut by her. Roxanne already had her debut match. Pretty good debut. Um, just overall, a lot of good stuff in it. I wish I could fully remember the match. I was doing some other stuff with cards, so I was in and out of this, whole event. But I think when I did see it, it was some great moments. You had one moment where Roxanne just missed EO, ducked under it, and just completely flatlined Julia, which led to the victory. And I think EO hit a really good moonsault. I remember something about that. But Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide on Julia to end the night for them. And then at the end, you had those two raising their hands, and then Rhea, like she does every single time, looked at the title. And listen, I like Rhea a lot. She's an amazing professional wrestler. She's great at what she does. She is a champ. She was a champ. But right now, I'm okay if she doesn't have the championship. I would like Io to have a long reign, personally, and just some other people to get a shot at it. I mean, I know there's not a lot of people who can really hold it right now. I think there's going to be some call-ups from NXT that really help that. I mean, Roxanne Perez, once she starts winning, heck, Julia, when she starts winning, would be a great option. But if you can, try to just let Io face some other people. Try to get a championship maybe on a newcomer. Roxanne would be great. I think Roxanne would be a great champion. Of course, like I said, she hasn't won yet, so you got to start giving her some credible wins. But just try to do something new with it. Rhea's great. Rhea's a great athlete. She's great at almost everything in wrestling. But I just want to see some new stuff in there. Um, what was it? What was I gonna say? Great Raw. Messing up a few times. I don't know why. I'm just talking quick. So yeah, Raw was great. Other things I want to talk about. Some people were worried about John Cena winning his matches the same way every time. I don't think he will. The same type of way, maybe. Like it's gonna be a lot of screwy finishes, guys. It's just the type of title reign he's gonna have. He's a heel. It's heel John Cena who wants to ruin wrestling. That means every match, something that you don't like is probably going to happen because he's trying to ruin wrestling. So why would he make it like good? I think it's been fun. Honestly, the Travis Scott one, as much as it kind of was stupid, it was kind of fun to see Travi out there. R-Truth, come on. Come on. It's R-Truth. That was fun to see. It was funny. And if we saw a match between R-Truth and John Cena, are you really going to hate on that? I mean, of course, it's his retirement tour, so like you want to see some different matches, but that match would still be hilarious and kind of fun because Truth can still go. Don't don't disrespect Truth, but it would be funny. I think it's not going to happen, or it'll be like a small match, but overall, it would just be funny. And then we'll go into NXT a little bit. This one, I didn't have the time to watch all of it, but I do remember some. NXT champion Obafemi defeats Charlie Dempsey. Non-title match, not surprised. You have Wesley defeating Tony D'Angelo. From what I remember at the end, Stacks did interrupt the match saying he found Rizzo's safe house. I don't know if this man's trying to kill another person. He already killed the other family member. I forgot his name. Sorry. He already killed him. Brought him out to the desert and said, "You know why we're out here." He's gone. Then he goes to Rizzo's safe house and he's gonna do something to her too, whack her maybe. I don't know, but distracts Tony D'Angelo, and then Wesley hits his finisher, and boom, D'Angelo's lights out, and then Stack says he's gonna get Rizzo. He's gonna have a war with her, and D'Angelo starts running out. Then Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace brought the heat in war of words, just going back and forth. Jordan Grace was sorry. Jordan Grace was there. Sorry, my gosh, I'm all over the place. We'll keep going. Miles Bourne defeats Ethan Page. Miles Bourne, really interesting superstar. I think he's great. He can do pretty good promos for the circumstances he has. I think he's great. I think he can be a star. He's really good at wrestling. And like I said, the promos aren't actually bad. They're pretty good. Beating Ethan Page with a drop kick, maybe not the best course of action, but it's okay. I mean, it's not the worst. They still had a pretty good match, and Bourne pulls out the victory. Do I think he will beat Obafemi for the championship? No, I do not. Will they make it a good match? Yeah, I think he will. Thea Hall defeats Tatum Paxley via disqualification. Tatum Paxley going insane. I mean, I understand why. You know, her friend, her tag team partner was just released, so they're probably going to play into that a little bit, which, you know, WWE loves to do that. But kind of crazy, kind of scary, not going to lie. She was already a little scary, now she's super crazy, super scary, but NXT goes on. And then finally, you have NXT Women's Champions Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace defeat Fallon Henry and JCJ, and that's what I meant. Good match. I think we knew Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace would win. That's always what kind of happens with these eventual title matches when they partner up. Stephanie has been a great champion so far. Really fun to watch. Not like that just for wrestling. Come on, guys. Get your head out of the gutter. Great wrestler. Jordan Grace, good wrestler too. She's getting there. Fallon Henry, she's actually really good, really talented. I think she's a little underrated, but I think she's good. And JC Jane, I like a lot. I think she's definitely underrated. I don't think she gets used enough and used in the way she should, but good match. Ended the way it should. And other than that, I got nothing else really to talk about right now. Have some thoughts of some videos I want to make now that it's summertime. Might make some ranking videos, maybe some reaction videos. Who knows? Let me know if you have any ideas. And probably like a theme song video of some sort, but we'll get into that later. Thank you guys so much for watching. As we wrap this up, we went through WWE Backlash results, WWE Raw results. We went to John Cena versus R-Truth, and then we also talked about R-Truth getting bullied by John Cena for no reason. Bullied his biggest fan ever. That's rude. That's rude, Cena. I know you're trying to ruin wrestling, but don't ruin R-Truth. And then we finish it off with some NXT results. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's a little later that I'm posting this than I usually do, so I'm sorry about that. But have a great rest of your Wednesday night with the limited time you have. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.